Imagine a world where invisible forces shape your thoughts and desires, a world where every decision you make, every belief you hold, is subtly influenced by unseen agents. A world where your reactions and beliefs are not entirely your own. These forces are constantly at work, molding your perceptions and guiding your actions without you even being aware of it. This is not science fiction. This is the reality of mind viruses at work. These mind viruses are pervasive, infiltrating every aspect of our lives, from the media we consume to the conversations we have. Every day we are bombarded with ideas, beliefs and behaviors that spread like viruses, infecting our minds without us even realizing it. These mental invaders are everywhere in the advertisements we see, the music we listen to, and the social media posts we scroll through. From catchy jingles to political slogans, these mental agents infiltrate our thoughts, influencing our choices and shaping our perceptions of the world. They are designed to be memorable, to stick in our minds and influence our behavior. These mind viruses are not malicious entities, but rather self-replicating units of culture known as memes. Memes can be anything from a catchy phrase to a viral video, and they spread rapidly through our social networks. Just as biological viruses spread from person to person, memes jump from mind to mind, replicating and evolving along the way. They adapt to their environment, changing form to better suit the cultural landscape they inhabit. They are the invisible forces that shape our culture, our beliefs, and our very identities. They influence the way we see the world and the way we interact with each other. But how do these mental invaders gain access to our minds? What makes us susceptible to their influence? Is it our constant exposure to media, our social interactions, or something deeper within our psychology? What are the mechanisms by which they infect and spread? How do they manage to bypass our mental defenses and take root in our consciousness? Understanding these mechanisms is crucial to understanding how we can protect ourselves. And most importantly, how can we protect ourselves from their influence? Can we build mental defenses strong enough to resist these invaders? Or are we destined to be forever influenced by the memes that surround us? The answers to these questions are vital as we navigate an increasingly interconnected and media-saturated world. The concept of the mind virus is not just a metaphor. In his groundbreaking book, Virus of the Mind, Richard Brody draws a direct parallel between the spread of ideas and the transmission of biological viruses. Brody, a former software developer, uses his understanding of computer viruses to illuminate the workings of their mental counterparts. Memes. Memes, according to Brody, are units of cultural information that replicate and spread, much like genes. They can be as simple as a catchy tune or as complex as a religious belief system. These memes compete for attention and replication within the cultural landscape, much like organisms competing for resources in an ecosystem. The memes that are most successful in replicating and spreading become dominant within a culture, shaping the thoughts and behaviors of individuals within that society. One of the most effective ways that memes take root in our minds is through repetition. This phenomenon is not just limited to internet memes, but extends to all forms of information and ideas that we encounter daily. Just as a drop of water can erode even the hardest rock over time, the constant drip of repeated information can wear down our mental defenses. This process is subtle and often goes unnoticed until the idea has firmly taken root in our minds. Repeated exposure to an idea, no matter how simplistic or even absurd, can wear down our mental resistance, making us more susceptible to its influence. This is why certain phrases, jingles, or even political slogans can become so deeply ingrained in our consciousness. Think about the last catchy jingle you couldn't get out of your head. It might have been a simple tune, but its constant repetition made it unforgettable. This is a deliberate tactic used by marketers to ensure their message sticks with you. Advertising agencies and political campaigns understand the power of repetition all too well. They craft their messages to be short, memorable, and most importantly, repeatable. By doing so, they ensure that their ideas are not just heard, but remembered. They bombard us with the same messages over and over again, knowing that each repetition increases the likelihood that the message will be accepted as truth. This is why you see the same advertisements multiple times a day across different platforms. Hoping that with enough exposure, these messages will become embedded in our subconscious, influencing our purchasing decisions or our votes. The more we see or hear something, the more familiar it becomes, and familiarity often breeds acceptance. This constant barrage of information, much of it designed to manipulate our thoughts and behaviors, creates a mental environment where critical thinking can be difficult. In such an environment, it becomes challenging to distinguish between what we genuinely believe and what we have been conditioned to accept through repetition. In today's world, where information is abundant and easily accessible, the power of repetition is more potent than ever. We must remain vigilant and critically evaluate the information we consume, recognizing the techniques used to influence our thoughts and behaviors. Taking breaks from the constant stream of information and engaging in activities that promote critical thinking and mindfulness can help us maintain our mental resilience. By doing so, we can better protect ourselves from the subtle yet powerful effects of repetition. Section 4. Cognitive dissonance, the mind at war with itself. Another powerful tool in the mind virus arsenal is cognitive dissonance. This psychological phenomenon occurs when we hold two or more conflicting beliefs, ideas, or values. This conflict creates mental discomfort, which our minds are naturally driven to reduce. To resolve this dissonance, we may unconsciously change our beliefs or behaviors to align with each other, even if it means denying evidence or clinging to irrational ideas. Cults and extremist groups often exploit cognitive dissonance to maintain control over their members. They may present information that contradicts the group's ideology as a test of faith or loyalty. Members faced with the discomfort of dissonance may double down on their beliefs, becoming even more entrenched in the group's ideology to reduce their mental discomfort. Section 5. The Trojan Horse sneaking past mental defenses. Imagine a piece of information disguised as something harmless, even desirable. It could be a catchy jingle, a heartwarming story, or a seemingly innocent meme. These pieces of content are designed to be engaging and shareable, making them perfect vehicles for hidden messages. It slips past your mental defenses, carrying with it hidden agendas that influence your thoughts and actions. These hidden messages can be subtle, often going unnoticed by our conscious mind, but they work their way into our subconscious, shaping our beliefs and behaviors over time. This is the Trojan horse method of mental infection, a subtle but potent technique used to plant ideas in our minds without triggering our critical thinking faculties. It's a method that has been refined over centuries, from ancient myths to modern marketing strategies. Social media platforms and online marketers have become masters of the Trojan horse method. They use sophisticated algorithms to analyze our preferences and behaviors, tailoring their messages to resonate with us on a personal level. This makes the Trojan horse even more effective, as the messages are customized to appeal to our individual interests and desires. They package persuasive messages within entertaining content, using humor, emotional appeals, and social pressure to bypass our critical thinking defenses. Clickbait headlines, viral challenges, and influencer endorsements are all examples of this subtle form of manipulation. These tactics are designed to capture our attention and keep us engaged, making it easier for the hidden messages to take root in our minds. Influencers, in particular, play a significant role in this process. Their endorsements carry a sense of authenticity and trust, making their followers more likely to accept the hidden messages embedded in their content. This form of peer influence is incredibly powerful, as it leverages our natural tendency to trust and emulate those we admire. By the time we realize we've been exposed to a persuasive message, the idea has already gained a foothold in our minds. It's a slow and subtle process, but over time, these hidden messages can shape our opinions, influence our decisions, and even alter our behavior. Understanding the Trojan horse method is the first step in defending against it, allowing us to become more aware of the hidden influences in our daily lives.